I was reading Snuff House today. Excuse me. I have to pick up my big box of F&Ts here. I was reading Snuff House earlier today, and a very interesting question was posed, and that is, what if I really loathe a snuff? Is it okay to just throw it away? Well, hey, it's your money. You're the one who bought it, so if you really don't like it, why not throw it away? I have a couple of good reasons not to throw away a snuff that you hate. First of all, snuffs will, even with proper storage, change in character slightly over time. So if you've got a snuff that was too perfumey or too harsh the first time you took it, it will change with time. Snuffs, like wine, can mature with proper storage a little bit. So that's one reason. The second reason is your tastes will change. Now, please, before you say, oh, Paul, you're just being a snuff snob, I am not saying, oh, please, you don't ever want to throw away a snuff because one never knows, as your tastes mature, perhaps you will come to be able to appreciate something a little bit better than your apricot, fruity, duty, chocolatey, strawberry-ish kiddie snuffs, you know. Once you have a nose that is equal to mine in development, perhaps you will be mature enough. Bullshit. That's not what I'm saying at all. But your tastes do change over time. In fact, your tastes might change from day to day. Let's think of it like food. Monday night, that cheeseburger will taste great, but maybe Tuesday night, that's not the flavor you want. Maybe you would prefer, a tofu stir fry or whatever. So your tastes will change over time, and they will change from day to day, week to week. And if you've thrown away a snuff, you won't have a chance to go back to it and try it a second time or a third time or whatever. Here's a really good example. I'm going to dig in my box here. Let's see if I can find it with the braille that Mrs. Squinty put on it. Yeah, here's B-U-R-E-A-U. Bureau. Okay. This is a prime example. I got this 50-gram tin of Bureau about a year ago, and I've stored it carefully. Fortunately, the screw cap lid helps keep it fresh. And when I first smelled it, it was like, oh my God, it smells just like deodorant soap. It's disgusting. I don't want it. And then I took a little pinch because, after all, I paid like $10, $11 for the tin. And I went, okay, let's try it. Oh my God, it's just like snorting deodorant soap. Ishy, ishy, pew, pew, yucky, yucky. I'm going to throw it away. But I didn't throw it away. I hung on to it. And now I come back to it and I actually like it. Now, part of that also has to do with your sniffing technique. When you're a beginner, you choke on almost every dry, fine snuff you try, you might think, oh God, these snuffs are so dry, they're dusty, they're nasty, I will never get... No, don't throw it away, because you might discover how to take a very finely ground snuff without choking on it. And when you go back to it, you'll go, wow, that's really great. Thirdly, another reason not to throw snuffs away is this. It's just an economic waste. Unless the snuff has developed mold or some other contamination, there's no reason to waste the money. If you are absolutely sure you will not like the snuff, set it aside in a box to give away or trade to another snuff taker. Because one man's meat is another man's poison. What you really dislike, another snuff taker might really like. So you can save it for giving gifts or trading, and that's a good thing. Finally, while it wouldn't be appropriate for any Freiburgen triers, except with the possible exception of the high dry toast and the Santo Domingo, you might be able to use that snuff as a good mixing snuff. Now, it gets a little dicey when you start mixing menthols with non-mentholated snuffs and clashing flavors and all that, but you might discover that a snuff that you don't really like makes a great mixer. So I will say this. If you discover a snuff that you hate, that you can't stand, hang on to it if you have the storage space. And if it's not moldy, of course. Hang on to that snuff. Now, I realize not everyone is as fortunate as I. I do have storage space. And I can hang on to snuffs for a longer time without getting in trouble with my partner and without causing problems, here in the dank basement. And if you don't have the storage space, you live in a small apartment or whatever, yeah, maybe you will have to get rid of it. But if you do have the storage space, don't throw that snuff away. Hang on to it. Let me recap. Why not to throw away a snuff you loathe? 1, the snuff may change over time. 2, your tastes may change over time. 3, it would be a waste of good money just to throw it away when you've spent money on it. Give it to somebody else instead. And finally, it could become a good mixing snuff for you. From the dank basement, with a nose full of bureau, this is your wicked Uncle Squinty. Thanks for watching.